Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic and that you're all having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Very big thank you to everyone who has subscribed and who's been here for almost a decade. Yes, it is a very long time. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. The world is changing. Crypto is changing. Acceptance is completely off the charts. We are getting easy. I mean, this isn't this isn't difficult to see. Indications that crypto is going actually a little bit more mainstream than we ever actually believed. It's difficult to, not really. I was going to say difficult to put into words. It's just more of a, it's odd to see all of these things happening. I assumed we had another decade in front of us with all of this, but the annoyance for me has been getting news daily, as we have been, or getting like really exceptionally crazy news, and it seems to almost do nothing for a majority of people in crypto, and also people who are also outside of the market as well. We're getting to the point where the calls for a $10,000, $15,000 Ether are becoming more realistic. The $1 million Bitcoin is nearly directly in view. I don't think that we need that much more to kind of get us there. But the idea of hyper Bitcoinization, for those of you who don't know, basically revolves around Bitcoin absorbing everything. It seems abstract in manner because we cannot perfectly envision a world where everything is just in Bitcoin or just in Satoshi. But the way that things have been moving the last 6 months or so, it's kind of clear that that's really where the world is going to go. I think a lot of people within crypto are going to freak out about it. And I think people outside are going to do a mad dash to try and buy as much Bitcoin as they can. This is going to. This isn't like something that like might be cool in the future or whatever. Like, this is going to completely change how people feel about crypto and how they understand what Bitcoin is for. Over the years, a lot of people in general have made sure at some point to talk negatively about the cryptocurrency space, about Bitcoin, about it being accepted, about it being used. But we're at the tipping point where it's going to be used for absolutely everything. It says, despite a rocky crypto week in Washington, a new mortgage bill is signaling a step towards legitimizing Bitcoin in traditional lending. Banks want to use it, banks are buying it, and crypto exchanges, the last 3 years, it's become more mainstream to do like crypto lending. That's just kind of been the thing as of late. But it's kind of been limited to what it actually could be used for. But the idea of being able to use, and I'll show you something else as well that's also as relevant, being able to use Bitcoin as like collateral for a mortgage is going to drive the market completely insane. I told you already, and you can put the tinfoil hat on just one ear. Even something like this, I think, is being announced because these people are trying to look for any given way that the average person would be willing to get rid of their crypto. That's been something that's happened over the last 5 or 6 years or so. Not that this isn't revolutionary, which it is, but it also lends literally to the idea that the bank would be doing this, hoping that you default so that they get more of your Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more valuable than the US dollar. They care about that more. Why do you think they would even think of letting you use it for your mortgage? It says at the same time, El Salvador and Pakistan are embracing cryptocurrency on a national level. That's like from a side thing. There was something a couple days ago about Pakistan. They've been in the news recently. Announcing, I think they've been having discussions over the last week with representatives from El Salvador. They were, if you weren't, here's some crypto history. They were, I believe, the first country to openly announce, this was like 2018, 2019, that they were into Bitcoin back then. And then they announced in 2020, 2021 that they were actually using Bitcoin. So they were buying it and they were mining it, but they were also using it in international trade. And I remember in the video I said, who are they trading with? That's how we knew back then that there were a handful of countries who were already like deep into the Bitcoin trenches. It says one notable development came from Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina, who apparently introduced a brand new bill called HR 4374 on the 14th of July. For perspective, the newly proposed U.S. House bill seeks to modernize mortgage evaluations by updating federal underwriting systems. Where are the words? Where are the words? There they go. If passed, lenders would be required to consider crypto assets, specifically those held in brokerage accounts linked to exchanges, when reviewing mortgage applications. Can you imagine sitting there and going, hey, I don't really have many cash assets. I don't have any money to put down. This Bitcoin, this XRP, this Ethereum, this Tron that I bought 4, 5, 6 years ago, and they see that you have 80,000 in that coin, they go, okay, you're approved. This is literally where the world is moving to, and I'm not getting enough excitement from people, and this is what I think also annoys me as well. I mean, I understand that I'm talking into a microphone. I got it. I can't see your reaction, but just from Twitter, from Reddit, from the interwebs in general, no one seems hyped about anything in this market anymore. Prices go up. It's kind of a lull. We get news that people are proposing the usage of cryptocurrencies for mortgages, literally solidifying them in the world of finance. And you can tell the energy is just not there. I don't know what it's going to take. Crypto's taking over the world. Have you realized that? Did you get that when BlackRock announced that they had 700,000 Bitcoin? That something might be amiss? That one company is this year going to be purchasing another $21 billion worth of Bitcoin? When multiple countries said they were also buying Bitcoin and having crypto reserves, we would have gone insane for news like this years ago. Crypto for mortgages? Are you kidding me? It's kind of like, you want to hear something even crazier? Here's a weird knock-on effect. You have some Bitcoin. You keep it on a crypto exchange. Bitcoin's price keeps going up. Bitcoin's price at some point hits $2-something million in the future. You have a good portion of a Bitcoin. You start staking. You start staking that Bitcoin. So you start making passive income completely for free on Coinbase from your Bitcoin. The passive income that you're making from the coin that's being created through the staking process, not Bitcoin, something else. You go to a bank and you say, hey, I'd really like that multifamily home. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin, but I do have this other asset. I have a good 125,000. They go, that sounds great. You did nothing. Your coins created extra coins and made you extra money that's now buying you property. That's not far-fetched. This is the door that we are currently knocking on. All this energy, all this stuff that we're getting, proposals, bills, countries buying, the amount of crypto that isn't even there anymore on crypto exchanges. And I feel like so few people personally are giving me the energy that I want. I understand that I want prices to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x right now to properly match the buying that we've been getting. But at the same time, I want people in crypto to also be like hyped. Crypto's taking over the world. Crypto is here to stay. Crypto, Bitcoin, and a slew of other coins are going to be here in 2045. The money that you put in 3, 4, 5 years ago, in 3, 4, 5 years, is going to be 10, 15, 20x what you put in. You are creating generational wealth. We are getting news stories that the generational wealth is here to stay as crypto integrates itself into everything. Mortgages? But we also barely got any kind of strong euphoric energy when we got the Bitcoin ETFs. Do you remember that? For those of you who weren't here, I expected the internet to melt and everyone would go insane. We had a fake out because someone announced that they were being launched on a day, like Monday, whatever the day was. Everyone went insane and then somebody was like, oops, sorry, that was a lie. But then the next day they got launched. And there was like a whisper. No one said anything. People weren't posting about it. And I was like, this is the thing we've been waiting for a decade. The bill has been referred to the House Financial Services and Veteran Affairs Committee for review. Though it's still in its early stages, the legislation aims to make crypto holdings part of mainstream mortgage assessments. Do you understand what is about to happen? You literally will be able to buy something, and this goes for everything. This goes for Ether. This goes for XRP. Did you miss all the XRP staking proposals that are being thrown out there right now? In 2 years, this is going to be a huge thing. Do you understand how early you are into this market? That we're at the point before you can use crypto as collateral for a mortgage. When that becomes mainstream, in 20 years, your grandkids will be like, I'm thinking of getting a mortgage and using crypto, whatever the case might be. You're going to remember before that actually happened. Did you see there's a video on Instagram? I couldn't stop laughing. This woman made a video and she said, I think she's a teacher or something like that. She said, I told my students that I was born before Google existed. And she said her students, they all laughed. Like, no, they're like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? Because they're young. They assumed Google had been made 100 years ago. I think Google came out in 97, 98. And she said their jaws dropped. They were like, Miss So-and-so, you are older than Google. You're almost as old as the internet. You are going to hear people, you got into crypto when it just started? You were there 5 years. What? You saw a $13,000 Bitcoin? Bitcoin's at 7 million. Like, how did you got so lucky? And it's not luck. It's literally just timing. If you missed this as well, this was something that we spoke about. This must have been 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. For those of you not looking at the screen, we apparently found out that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're basically the lenders within the United States. Apparently, they're also not too far away from also accepting crypto as collateral. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says in the USA, lending mortgage banks are under government supervision. It wants to oblige Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to accept Bitcoin as collateral. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're kind of like the debt monsters. Like they kind of control they dish out all the debt as well, like for student loans as well. When you can use cryptocurrency to buy a property, like No, and it's not even game over. That's the problem. This isn't even the beginning of where everything is going. Do you understand that? Like, are you actually getting what we're hearing all the time? I know some of you do, but I also know some of you don't. And that's because of the last year and a half or so. BlackRock gets in, Fidelity gets in. I think cumulatively, I think we have over 25, around more than 25. Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Hedge funds are buying. People are selling gold. Countries are openly announcing we need to buy 200,000 Bitcoin. We need to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. 200 companies announce that they're all buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price goes up. We're talking about staking Bitcoin. Bitcoin being used as like a literal thing for countries, for their treasury, for their security, for their future money. And people within crypto are like, well, the prices have to go higher. I really, really hope that everyone gets it or reads a book or tries to find some more information on what's going on, because the world, as I told you before, the world's not going to wait for you. Crypto's not going to wait for you. Bitcoin's not going to wait for you. We're not waiting for prices to go lower. Like, you should really be on board at this point. When you what, mortgages? Oh boy, we are in a brand new era, and I hope you make sure that you are a part of it. That is definitely going to do it for this video. I mentioned before, videos for a little while are going to be a little bit shorter. I have a lot going on. So that's just what it is. I do hope you've all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Almost said mortgage. I almost said I hope you have a good mortgage. That's crazy. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.